Okay. Hi, I'm Nicole. Thank you for meeting me here today. Today we are going to be working on creating a space that's safe, that we can find just find a space where we can move. I am here just to encourage you and to be with you. If your body decides that another pose or another practice or anything, that's the right way to go. Please be safe with knees and how you're feeling, and let's go through this together. And this is my first video, so we'll see how it goes. If you need blankets or blocks or water, that is the right call for you. I even have a little sage.
We'll begin with child's pose. Your knees can be together or apart. You can reach your arms out in front of you. You can move in this pose to find more comfort. Really reach your arms out, press into your fingertips, let your palms lift. Maybe bring your hands to come in between your legs and rest on your third eye, the space across your forehead a little bit more. Sometimes it's nice to rest on one cheek for a few breaths. Maybe switching cheeks, looking the other way. Your arms can shift to reaching out in front of you again, or they can come back and come to the outsides of your legs with the palms face up. Maybe a pillow or your hands stacked, or a block can go to your third eye if you need a little bit more comfort, a little more attention to that space. Please bring something to your forehead. allow your breath to become a little bit more vocal, a big sigh, an open mouth sigh, tongue hangs out. Maybe shifting your weight from one side of your hip to the other. Allow this to be a time for you to set an intention, creating a sacred, safe space for you to practice now. We bow down to our own higher self, something bigger than words can explain. And you can stay here, or you can start to move slowly into pigeon pose, a pose that can be done, in the traditional way, or you can come to lying on your back, or you can come to a chair, whatever feels really good in your body. We'll start by bringing the right knee forward, tucking the left toes and bringing the left leg back. The right knee will bend out a little bit wider than your hip on the right side. And you can point the right toes back towards your left hip crease, or the shin can start to come out in front of you, parallel with the right ankle flexed. It really depends how you're sitting, how it feels in your hips, and you can place a blanket or a lot of blankets underneath your seat to kind of cushion it up. And the left toes will be tucked, and you'll start to find length all along that left side, reaching back. And we'll press into our hands and start to just inhale up the front body. And with an exhale, you'll come down your full front body down to the ground. Another bow to this place, to this practice, to wherever you land on your mat. And take your time. This is a great place to stay. You can start to press into your hands and maybe walk your hands out to the left side, finding a little bit of space in that right hip crease. We'll press into our hands. We'll start to walk them back towards the center. And we'll start to come up on an inhale. Maybe bend the left knee and have it meet next to the right knee, coming to a short child's pose. Or sometimes it even feels good to have bigger movements and come maybe to downward dog or something to shake your hips a little bit. We can bend the left knee, having the knee come out to the left side a little bit wider than your left hip, having the left toes point back towards the right hip bone, and the right toes will tuck, and you'll start to find length as the toes reach back longer on that side, finding length. And with an inhale, you'll press into your hands and your whole front body will come up towards the sky. And with an exhale, you'll exhale your whole front body down. And take your time. Press into the hands. Allow small movements to shift your front of your body towards the right side, allowing a little bit of space from your left pinky finger all the way to your left hip. You exhale down. Walk your hands back to the center. Support yourself with the hands inhaling back up. Your front body, shifting your knees together, finding a child's pose, or if bigger movements are needed, downward dog. And we'll meet in child's pose, and we'll begin to tuck the toes. Our hands will start to support us to lift the front body up away from the thighs, and we'll actually manually, with our hands, tuck the toes on the pinky side, making sure all the toes are tucked, And we'll come to sit our hips back on our heels. Broken toe pose, they call this. It can be a little bit intense. So, in all the poses, you can move whenever you feel like. But we are, in this pose, trying to wake up the bottoms of our feet like they're eyeballs. And we're trying to wake them up so that they land on the ground with a little more space. And you can place your right hand with the palm face up on your lap, and then the left hand can go on top of that with the palm facing up. And you can shift your heart over your pelvis, your head over your heart, and that space across your forehead your eyes are closed. And if your awareness is on your bottoms of your feet right now, try to shift them maybe to the knees, and then maybe to the thighs, and up your whole body. And try not to have your focus just be on the feet. And again, this might be something that you need to come out of, putting weight into your hands and maybe banging the tops of your feet down, or just deciding my feet are awake enough, I'm done with this pose. But we'll find a way to maybe meet sitting back on our heels with our feet pointed back, or maybe the feet find a little bit of space so that your hips can come and rest in between them. And this is a good place. Virasana is a good place to place a blanket to sit up on so that your seat can be really high. We'll find our hands landing beside our hips on blocks or on the ground, grounding ourselves. And we'll inhale the right hand up to the sky, palm face in towards the midline. Finding length on that whole right side. And with an exhale, we'll come over towards the left, reaching we'll inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, let the right hand come down to the ground. Inhale the left hand up towards the sky, palm facing in towards the midline. And exhale, reach over towards the right side. And now come back up towards the center. Exhale, bring the left hand down. We'll inhale the right hand up towards the sky. We'll exhale, bend over towards the left side of the room, moving with our breath. This might be poses that you want to stay in for longer than just moving back and forth, or maybe your practice wants you to move back and forth with a little bit more flow. So we're exhaling to the left side, inhaling up towards the center, exhaling the right hand down towards the floor, inhaling the left hand up towards the sky, exhaling towards the right side, inhaling back up towards the sky, exhaling the left hand down to the ground. And we'll just move one more time on the opposite side. Right hand up towards the sky. Exhale, reach over to the left side. We'll inhale back up with the right hand reaching up towards the sky, and we'll bend the right elbow and have the right fingers come towards the tops of your shoulders. And you'll exhale, reach the shoulders back into that hand. Let the neck rest back. Sit tall. Inhale the hand up towards the sky. Exhale the right hand down to the ground. Left hand up towards the sky. Exhale, let it reach over towards the right side. Inhale it back up towards the sky. Bend the left elbow, have the fingers support you behind your back, behind your heart, and then relax everything back, shoulders, neck, into that arm. We'll inhale it back up towards the sky. Exhale the left hand down towards the ground. So reach into the earth with your hands, maybe the blocks, and we'll start to shift our hips to one side and bring the legs out in front of us. If you practice, lifting your legs off the ground and shifting them underneath you to the front, that's good too. We're gonna bend the knees, have the feet come towards the ground and knees up towards the sky, and then we'll open the knees out towards the side and let the sides and let the bottoms of the feet touch. We'll place our hands beside our hips and we'll lift our seat away from the ground and move the seat towards our heels. Place it down. And we're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana. This is a great place to have a pillow or blankets or something to support you from behind. And you're going to lie back nice and easy. And check out how you're feeling in this pose. It sometimes can feel too much too soon. So I sometimes like to place my hands on top of my belly or across my heart. There's sometimes this pose just does not work for me. We are going to be meeting on our sides, so if you need to move there sooner rather than later, please go and we'll meet you there. Gently come out. Moving the blankets, maybe having your left hip come right up close to the blankets. You're going to come laying to your side, and so we can rest our whole left side down on a blanket that supports you. And you can use your left hand kind of like a pillow, bending the left elbow, having it support your head. And we'll exhale, hug in our knees and rest down on the left side, taking care. I like these poses because it really allows your body to feel safe. Sometimes we take these poses naturally. And pick ourselves up, and we'll turn our bodies so that our right hip is up against our blankets or bolster, and we'll exhale, come down, supporting our whole right side down onto the blankets or floor, and our right elbow will bend, coming to our head, supporting our head like a pillow. And you'll bend the knees and take care on this side. This might be where your practice ends today. If you're feeling like your space is created, there's a little more room. It's a beautiful place to end the practice. If you decide you need a little bit more energy work, a little more movement, we'll begin here. We'll press into our hands, supporting ourselves to come up to a seat with our legs stretched out in front of us. We'll flex the ankles so the toes are pointed up towards the sky. A staff pose, In this pose today, let's have something, anything, a chair, a wall, something supporting your back body so that it's not all in your own efforts. Something's helping you from behind. Please shift your hips side to side and pick up your seat, feeling your sit bones really ground down to the ground. Place your hands beside your hips, feel the earth, and allow your shoulders to relax all the way down to your hands, creating space in your neck, maybe moving your chin side to side, and then tucking the chin slightly so it feels like there's a smile underneath your chin. You can smile too, that helps. And yeah, we'll begin here. We'll open our eyes and try to see the wider picture from side to side, and having your eyes be soft, like you're just waking up, and you're looking around, trying to look at all the colors, taking in all the colors, the ones that stand out to you. And we'll inhale, have our eyes come up towards the sky just a little bit, not all the way up, just a little bit. And we'll start to slowly walk our hands down our legs. Maybe you have a strap, maybe you have a shirt, maybe you just have your hands rest down on the shins or knees. We'll inhale, look up with the eyes towards the sky, and we'll exhale, come down, maybe shaking the hips, maybe bending the knees. We'll inhale up the front body from the pubic bone, up the belly, up through the heart, all the way to the top of your forehead where there's space. And then we'll exhale, bring that whole front body down a little closer. Your knees can stay bent. And we'll inhale one more time up through the front body. Look up with the gaze. Exhale, come down, and try to find some length on your legs if it feels right. Paschimottanasana. Remembering you're not stuck in a pose, so sometimes I like to point my toes a little bit, stretching my feet, and then allowing them to point up towards the sky. Sometimes I like to shift my hips. You're not in cement, so feel free to move here and find a way to come to a place where you're not moving so much. Now walk our hands back, letting our front body come away from our legs. Pressing into the earth with our hands, long back. We'll bend the knees. Toes will start to point towards the ground, shifting onto just your sit bones. With an inhale, maybe we'll point the right leg towards the sky. And exhale, bring those toes down. Inhale, let the left leg point towards the sky. Exhale, bring it down. And maybe inhale, point both legs towards the sky. You can support your legs from behind your knees. Exhale, bring the toes down. And then we'll inhale, bring them both up towards the sky. Feel your spine lift towards the sky as well, with space in between. And maybe your hands can come away from your knees, and you're feeling really strong here. And you can decide if you want to bend the knees and just shift the hips to the side so that you can come to a standing forward fold, or you can reach the legs with an inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen the legs, look up. And then exhale, bend the knees, pick up the seat, and maybe try to drag your legs behind you, tucking your toes. And lengthening the legs, coming onto the bottoms of your feet, folding forward in Uttanasana, forward fold. And you can move a lot here. You can bend your knees a lot here. You can kind of shake everything. You can grab opposite elbows. You can do kind of a wave motion side to side. You can bend one knee, bend the other. There's a lot of movement when you come to Uttanasana at first. Allowing there to feel like a draping down, a letting go. Everything's coming down to the ground. And then after a lot of movement, allow it to be a little less and less movement. Your knees can come, your feet can walk to hip distance, and you can bend your knees always and place your hands underneath your feet. You can interlock your peace fingers around your toes, or you can bring blocks to the sides of your feet and just place your hands down with the palms face up or down, whichever one feels good. Shake your head no. And then a few yeses. Let go of the hands And we're going to start to almost come up to a halfway lift. The front body moves away from the thighs. You look forward a little bit and we'll hold this pose. Allowing your belly to really come in and support your lower back. Maybe picking up the toes and placing them down. And with your front body away from your thighs, still looking forward halfway up, bend your knees a lot, placing your hands down, and we'll let the left leg come all the way back, and we'll keep the right leg forward into a lunge. Make sure that your right knee is over your right ankle. Let the left leg reach back, the toes tuck, and maybe you move back and forth on that ankle, hearing some cracks and crinkles, but lengthen along that whole left side. Inhale, lift your front body, look up, press into your hands. Exhale, come forward with the left leg, meeting in Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to halfway up. Bend the knees, place the hands, step the right leg back. Left knee lands over the left ankle, right toes tuck, and find length on that whole right side. Maybe moving the heel forward and back, hearing the right ankle crack and crinkle a little bit. And look forward with your gaze. Place your hands on blocks or on the ground. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right leg forward, forward fold. And we'll move back and forth here, maybe about 2 rounds. If you decide you need to just stay in the lunge with not so much movement, that's fine. So inhale halfway up, place the hands, look up, and bend the knees, and we'll step the left leg back. Allow your thighs, your shins to reach in towards the midline, your hips to reach out. Okay, inhale, look forward with your gaze. Place the hands, step forward, forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, look up with the half back, halfway up. Bend the knees, place the hands, step the right leg back. Squeeze the shins, make space in your hips to go wide. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, come forward, forward fold. Inhale, look forward, halfway up, and step the left leg back. Inhale, look forward, step the left leg forward. Exhale. And we're just switching from one lunge to the other. So you'll inhale, flat back, place the hands with bent knees, step the right leg back, find your lunge pose, shins in, hips finding space. There's a lift in your belly. Inhale, look up, place the hands, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway up, place the hands, step back with the left leg, finding a lunge. And this time we'll stay here and we'll actually place the left hand down beside the right foot, and you'll watch your right hand will inhale, come all the way up into a twist, but have the fingers come up like an extension of you, like you have colors or light coming out the fingertips, and you watch it slowly come up towards the sky, and touching every single part of the sky that you can. Maybe the right elbow bends and the right hand comes to the lower back, and you squeeze the shoulders under your back with a little pinching at the bottom of your shoulder blades. And allow your head to feel supported but not stuck. The neck's not stuck here. And tucking the chin and moving the chin a little bit to allow that feeling to move. And watch as the right fingers come up towards the sky, the extension of yourself coming all the way down, the right fingers through the sky to the ground. Inhale, look forward with your front body. Exhale, come to a forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Bend the knees, place the hands. Step the right leg all the way back. Left knee stays bent in a lunge. Place the right hand down and watch each of the fingertips from the left side come up with colors, come up with extension, come up with light, twisting in your lunge. Bending the left elbow, having the left hand come towards your lower back, squeezing the shoulders onto your back, and tucking your chin and looking up towards the sky. Reaching the left fingers up for the sky and having them reach all the way down to the ground. Place the left hand down, frame the front foot with your hands. Inhale, look up with your gaze. Look forward with your gaze. Exhale, come to a forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Maybe your hands come beside you like wings, palms face down. Exhale, bend the knees, place the hands, step the left leg all the way back. Right knee stays bent. And we'll inhale, come up with the airplane wings to the side here, lifting just the front body off of the right thigh. And we'll inhale and exhale here for a few breaths, remembering you're not stuck, so you can shift your weight back and forth. You can lift your front body a little bit more with your inhale and exhale. Reach to all fingers. And then with some exhale, place the hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, look up with your gaze towards the front of the room and step forward to a forward fold. Inhale, flat back, airplane wings, palms facing down. Exhale, bend the knees, place the hands, step the right leg all the way back, finding your lunge. Inhale to airplane wings, front body off of your left thigh. So we'll stay here for a breath or two. Inhaling, lengthen the spine. Belly pulls in, supports your back. Exhale, you feel all of your fingertips, even the pinky side. And we'll inhale one more time in this pose. We'll exhale, place the hands down on the ground. We'll inhale, look forward with our whole front body. And then we'll exhale, come to a forward fold. And we'll inhale, bring the hands to the hips, come to a flat back, pick up your toes, maybe feet come to hip distance apart. We'll bend the knees here, and we'll inhale, start to bring the hands open to the side, reaching up towards the sky. Your gaze comes up with the hands, and the hands meet up above you or a little in front of you. Allow just the pinky sides of your hands and the thumbs to touch, and everything else just opens up towards the sky. And we'll spend a few breaths here, reaching and gazing creating something sacred in your hands that feels like something. Exhale your hands down by your sides. Roll your shoulders a little bit. Feel really tall in your Tadasana mountain pose. And we'll inhale, allow the hands come to the sides and up towards the sky. Have your gaze come slightly up. And we'll exhale, fold forward with bent knees, slowly coming down, slower movements than normal. We'll inhale to a flat back. We'll place the hands, bend the knees, and we'll step the legs back to a downward facing dog. There'll be some movement here. So for today, we're just going to try to shift between downward dog and plank for a few breaths, allowing it to be pretty with your breath, your own rhythm, your own beat. Sometimes I breathe fast, sometimes I breathe slow, so you'll really have to pay attention. This can get pretty intense, a lot of movement. So we'll meet in plank pose, your hands underneath your shoulders. And we'll let the hands go and come onto our forearms, forearm plank. You can squeeze the hands here, allowing just the pinky side to be on the ground, or you can place the palms down onto the ground. We can begin to walk the feet towards the elbows, coming to forearm downward dog. Maybe the right leg comes up towards the sky. And then switch to the left leg coming up towards the sky. And we'll come back to forearm plank, allowing your sides to feel really long as your belly pulls in and supports your lower back. There's no sinking here. It's a lifting of the whole front body away from the ground. You can move your heels from one side to the other without too many more other movements. So just your heels. It could be really small shifting in the hips here. And then we'll bend the knees, coming to child's pose for a breath or two, and resting. And we'll lift the front body away from the ground, and we'll place our hands on blocks or the ground here, and we'll start to bend the knees, crossing the ankles, lifting as much as you can. Maybe just the knees come off the ground, maybe you can get the feet off the ground. Maybe you just move your hips to the side and bring your legs out in front of you, or you can try to drag your feet out from underneath you and come to a sitting pose, Siddhasana. But we'll be coming to a half lotus pose. So to begin, you'll lengthen your legs out in front of you, and we'll bend the right knee towards our body, hug it in, and then we'll bend the right knee out towards the right side, placing the foot on top of the left thigh, up towards your hip crease. And this might be a place where you just place your right hand onto your right thigh and kind of try to press it away, allowing a little bit of space to happen in that right hip. And we can let go and squeeze the right knee in, let the leg lengthen out in front of us, and then we can bend the left knee. Bend the left knee towards the side now, and place the left foot on top of the right thigh, coming to half lotus. So you do eventually bring the opposite leg underneath you, but it's not in lotus pose. It's just an easy sitting pose. And place your left hand on top of your left thigh, and gently, we're not forcing too much, we're gently trying to guide with a safe hand, opening up the left hip a little more. And we'll press into our hands and bring the left knee in, hug it in, and lengthen it out in front of you, letting go of the pose, and then coming to just an easy sitting pose, cross-legged position. And we're going to start to warm our hands up, maybe on our thighs at first. And we'll bring the hands together and really friction back and forth as fast as you can. Really trying to make it super warm. And we'll place the hands right in front of our face, feeling the warmth of our hands on our face. And then allow your fingertips to kind of massage over your eyebrows or to the nasal top of your nose, and then around your top of your eye. Maybe it comes to your mouth, your jaw. It's almost like you're washing your face with your hands. And this next pose is called stacking the logs. And you basically just have, one shin. We'll do our left shin parallel with the front of the mat. We'll flex the left foot so the toes are pointing forward. And then we'll have the right ankle go right on to the left knee, ankle flexed. So both shins are parallel to the front of the mat. You can see why it's called stacking the logs here. And you're going to come and lay back onto your back. Maybe you have something back there to support you. And we'll reach the hands up above our head and maybe interlace our fingers and reach. It's interesting to see where your hips land here. We try to be in this pose for a minute, at least a minute. And if you can stack the other leg on top, switching legs while you're on your back, that's great. If you need to sit up and look and make sure that your shins are in line and that your both ankles are flexed, that's great too. Either way, we're just stacking the left leg on top of the right. Both ankles are flexed, toes are pointed towards the front of the room, and both shins are on top of each other, parallel with the front of the mat. And we'll exhale, come down, and we'll interlace our fingers, and then we'll take them apart just in a way so that we can have a different kind of interlace with a different index finger on top. And we'll stretch the palms out and away from us and over our head, and we'll reach. And then we'll start to let go of the legs, let go of the hands, let go of the arms, and we'll be on our back. And maybe we'll hug in our knees, letting the back come away from the ground and trying to grab opposite elbows, really small. And maybe you just have small movements side to side or back and forth. And you can allow the grip around your legs to be a little less, and you can rock back and forth on your spine more and more. Maybe you grab the bottoms of your feet so that you can rock side to side on your lower back. Happy baby pose. let the feet come down to the ground, and maybe your knees just knock here, coming together, or maybe you cross the right leg over the left. And we'll shift our hips over to the right side, and then we'll allow both knees to fall over to the left. And before you go into this pose, pick up your shoulders and actually spread them on the ground out towards your fingers, coming out towards a T. Your arms and your fingers are out in a T shape. And you'll have your gaze, your chin will tuck, and your gaze will go over to the opposite side, the right side, opposite side of your knees. We'll bring the knees back, bending them towards the sky, placing the feet down on the ground. We'll switch sides, allowing the left leg to cross over the right, shifting the hips to the left side, allowing the knees to drop over to the right side now, and pick up your shoulders, placing them down with intention, and then allowing your gaze to fall over towards the left side. I'll bring the knees back up to point towards the sky, feet towards the ground. And allow everything just to fall to the ground the way that it wants to, with some ease, with some exhales. And this will be our last pose, Shavasana. And in this pose, you're doing what you can to take care of yourself. Allowing everything from the practice to come in. And rest. You can stay in this pose for as long as you need. And this is where I leave you today. Thank you for creating this sacred place. Namaste.